First of all, I want to educate you on an organ called adrenal glands. Adrenal glands are glands that sit on top of your kidney, and you have one on each side. Okay, and you know where the kidney is? It's right around here on your body. And so, first thing, adrenal gland has different function in your body. First of all, they handle energy production, and they take care of your sleep quality. And the third thing is immune health. Bone health, thyroid health. So if you have weight loss, temperature problem, and etc., or even poor hair quality, that could have something to do with that. Immune health would be allergy problems or get sick all the time, or people who just don't get sick at all, but you know they're super not healthy. So these are the majority function of the body for the adrenal gland. Also, stress handling. So if you have a lot of stress, then adrenal gland constantly have to handle the stress for you, and they will get wear off pretty fast. And then you have food intolerances. So for the food intolerances are people who can have certain food and cause gas, bloating, or swelling, or even rashes in the body, or a lot of hormone imbalance, etc. So as you can see, adrenal gland has lots of function in our body, right? Adrenal gland, right here, produce a hormone called cortisol. This cortisol is supposed to be high in the morning and used up throughout the day so you can go to sleep at night. And what happened is, some people have this going on. So in the morning, they're tired, and the body is going to say, oh my god, I can totally do this. By the time they produce enough cortisol, they actually hit it at the wrong time, and they're too high up there, so they can't sleep well at night. Or the different kind of patient would be way up here, where they're constantly fighting something. And when that happens, I usually pretty sure that they have something called a food intolerances, or some kind of allergy that's constantly bothering them in their environment. So the body is constantly dealing with stress by producing the cortisol. Remember the stress handling? So, and then stress handling could be chemical stress, emotional stress, and also physical stress. And any kind of that stress can kill your adrenal gland very easily. Or you have patients like this. You know what? I am just tired all the time. I can sleep anytime I want to, but when I wake up, I'm still tired. And that's a true adrenal gland exhaustion stage. All right? And so by doing certain type of saliva testing that give us the ability to find out exactly what shape you're in. The saliva test we'll do is we take the sample first thing in the morning, at lunchtime, afternoon, and before you go to bed. So we can really see what curve you're in. Are you in here, or are you in here? All right? So that tells me that whether your body has the ability to produce energy and how's your sleep quality based on your cortisol level, and then that will determine how's your immune health. And later on, usually patients about like 40, late 40s or 50s, and later on, they will show more bone health problem. However, the true cause is hormone imbalance. So we need to balance the hormone in order to keep those calcium in your system. Otherwise, you can take all the calcium you want to, it won't be absorbed, and it won't stay in your system either. And thyroid health, they work hand in hand together with liver. And so I need to understand exactly the cause of your problem, because all these, as you can see, just adrenal gland alone, you can have all these kind of symptoms. Oh, I'm tired, I can't sleep well, I have poor immune health, and then I can't lose weight, and I am stressed easily, I get anxious easily, and no matter what I eat now, my digestion fall apart. I can treat every single symptom by itself, and by then you can probably have 7 different types of drugs, but we don't. We try to find out the cause of your problem and then handle it, so all these symptoms can be improved much better. Alright, now I'm going to go over the part why you have PMS problem and also possibly polycystic ovarian syndrome. Now you understand what adrenal gland does, and they help you to produce your hormones such as stress handling hormone, right? So the next thing you want to look at is adrenal gland actually works with your liver, and together, you might not know, is that they produce about 1/3 of your progesterone in your body, and 2/3 of that actually is coming from ovary. So let's understand the basic function of each hormone does. You have estrogen, and then you have progesterone. So the estrogen, their main job is to tell the uterus to grow thickening of the lining, and so that way they can also tell the ovary to produce a mature egg, and then it can be released into the uterus. So if it gets fertilized by a sperm, it can actually get pregnant and stays there. But the job of the progesterone is actually to keep that there. If it doesn't, let's say the progesterone level is too low, then you actually have a chance of miscarriage, because that's the signal from the body that the body is actually pregnant when it's a high progesterone. If it's low, then it's like, okay, time for period. And that's exactly what happened in the body. So a lot of people actually have very easy miscarriages happen in their life. It's because their adrenal gland a lot of time in the liver is not very healthy, and their ovary is not very healthy. So when that happens, they actually produce very low progesterone. And what increased estrogen is that sugar makes it very easy for the body to convert other hormones such as testosterone and other hormones to produce into estrogen. So you're going to have high estrogen, and then you have stress all the time, you're toxic all the time, and your ovary wasn't that strong to start with, you're going to have very low progesterone. And when you have imbalance of estrogen and progesterone, you can have higher chance of PMS. So PMS, what does it stand for? Premenstrual syndrome. So before you have period, some people have bloating happening, and guess who caused that? Estrogen. Estrogen increased water retention. Also cramping and heavy bleeding and clots. And so the reason why is estrogen, again, their job is to make you thickening the lining, right? So when it's too thick, you have more things to shed off. Now you have clots that's coming down, and then you have heavy bleeding, like days of bleeding that's coming down. It's not stopping. So when that happens, that's, again, it's what we call estrogen dominant syndrome, and that's a majority cause of the PMS problem. Now, how does polyovarian cystic syndrome happen? Is that PCOS happens when you have all this ovary, all this egg try to be mature at the same time, and they don't, and they kind of like get stuck in the between, and they kind of like fossilize. It's called follicle, right? So they actually become cysts, and these cysts cause problem. That's why it's called polycystic, or the cyst in the ovary syndrome. And these cysts actually produce tons of testosterone. So that's how you see women have a lot of hair growth on their chin and things like that, because of too much testosterone growing. And most likely they already have PCOS going on.